Shalom. All praises go to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua Ba'Hashem Adawah Kodash. Double honors unto the elder apostles, that great millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Shalom. Right. I'm just going to jump into it because, it's out here once more. Yahweh is up. Until this queendom fall or until you get out this life. So there's only two ways to get out this. Either death or salvation. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, ain't no jumping out, falling out, whatever. Because we in that time, not only because, but we in that time right now where, it's actually a fun thing to just watch how the heathen nations are crumbling. Every Matthew chapter 24 is starting to be up in effect. Nation against nation, the kingdom is against kingdoms. You have China against India war right now. You have Cambodia versus Thailand. A lot of people don't even know about that one. And a lot of people don't even know about the one in China, which has been browsing up for, I think, since the 1960s. Wait. 1969 or 1972. One of those two, right? And then it bounced back into physical fighting in 2020 or 21. If you type in India versus China military confront, fight, then you will see them going, fist fighting and with sticks and stuff like that. And a few people died, but both sides said that they shouldn't be using weapons or else it might escalate. Because now people be like, wait a minute. Even a child could kill a man with a gun. So that's not fair, so we're going to kill yours. But they went to fist fighting and then a few of them died. But it didn't escalate into war. But it's all about money, by the way. Same thing with Thailand and Cambodia. It's about territory, land, and money. Speaking of land, Trump wants to actually get back into being a colonialism like type of Edomite. He was a straightforward conquistador. That's what because they ran out of countries to rob. So now they starting robbing their own. Greenland and all that type of stuff. But he still wants other countries like Cuba, Mexico, Nicaragua, and Iran, of course. They want Iran also. But anyway, so let me read a few scriptures. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. Trump knows he had but a short time. That's why he's raging at the mouth right now, foaming. He's funny at the same time too, calling people piggy, flipping them off with the middle finger, and that's your president. And that's your president, I'm talking to the people that want to claim him as theirs. You have Jacob descendants that are doing the same clown thing. Trying to jump up on that patriotic type of conservatism type of bullshit. Look here, man. I've been living here a long time. I'm not a part of these motherfuckers, man. It doesn't matter. And I'm not a part of them. And neither are you a part of America. So it says right here, they're going to show you. They're going to show you how they feel about you. Like I said, they ran out of people to steal from. So they start stealing from their own. Greenland. Okay, Revelation. Wait, I'll get to that later. So we are in that time right now where you have things like this going on.
Impossible to live in, and I swear it's being done on purpose.
Majority of Floridians say the state is no longer affordable.
Here are a few reasons why we decided to leave Florida.
Surprise, Florida just ranked as the second most financially distressed state in the entire country.
You drive by houses, small little houses that have 5, 6, 7, 8 cars parked outside, because that's how many people are living there.
Florida has become so unaffordable.
We don't have money. We're living paycheck to paycheck, basically.
It's astronomical. One of the most popular states that
So,
Americans have been moving to the past.
What's happening right now? everywhere, the whole infrastructure is breaking down. All throughout the country, they got problems. You know, they got problems with the financial system. They got problems with the jobs. They got problems with their women. That's why they're trying to go to other countries, trying to get a wife. America is falling. The great Babylon is falling. And all these merchants are taking notes, man. They're crying. Everybody that love money in this system. Oh yeah, speaking about this system, you have all these cars that they're manufacturing the cars on purpose to be a bunch of broke ass cars. And you have this car, this technique that they put in the car right now, which is every, how you call that thing? Every stoplight, the car shuts itself down. So now you have to restart it again. You know what that will do? I'll give you an example of a fact. If you have a television, right? And you keep on unplugging the television and then plugging it back in and then unplugging it and plugging it back, the television is going to break. I had that, but I had a switch on my telephone. You know, I could just switch it off. Television, sorry. I had a switch on my television. So I used to switch it off, you know, so-called spare energy and stuff like that when I'm not around. And I did this for like maybe a few months. I think what's 4, 3, 6, I'm not sure. But I didn't do it long after I got a new television, you know? And because I thought, you know, I'm gonna be efficient with the energy and stuff like that, whatever. So now one day I went to turn on my television, it didn't work. So I had to call the people, but it was still under the, I don't know how you call it in English, but it's guarantee, meaning like 2 or 3 years and stuff like that. Then you are allowed to call them and say, hey, come fix my television because, you know, the warranty thing, right? So it was still under the warranty. I had it like 4, 5, 6 months or whatever. And the guy came and he said the things inside was fried. How you start the television, it was fried. Why? But I know why. Because I kept on turning it off and turning it on. Basically unplugging it and plugging it in. And that's what's happening to these cars right now. Because I have videos showing that. About the same, well, I didn't put it here because I wasn't thinking about it. Because I saw electric cars in front of me, so I was like, okay. Anyway, that's one of their systems. That's one of the things that they want to show off their so-called technology and system with. But they're doing it on purpose. They're on purposely making it look like they're advancing, but it's actually they're turning you back in the time. Because now, let's say it's cold outside, you can't open your car. Let's say the car doesn't have battery, and you need to, you know, you have a door handle, right? But you don't have that on the electric car. Some of them electric cars, you have a door handle, but some. Wait, let me focus. Let me focus on one thing because I want to say like 3 things at the same time. But anyway, you have these cars right now, not all of them, but you have these cars right now that are electric, and in order for you to open the door, you need to press some kind of button on the car door where the handle is supposed to be. But if the car doesn't have electricity, you're not getting it open. And then you need to go to the front of the car and you need to pull out some kind of, you know, wires and stuff like that. And then you need to jump start it. Crazy. And then you can unlock the door and stuff like that, because now the car has electricity, because you need to have your own battery, your so-called car battery, just to jump start it in order to get enough electricity for it to be able to open up your door. Ridiculous. Instead of just having a key and just turning that thing and the thing is already open. But the reason I'm saying that is to show you that Esau is now going backwards, man. Their system is falling down, you know? They have no more. And the technology that they do have, they keep to themselves because they don't want the public to actually be self-sufficient. They're speaking of this self-sufficient nonsense. They don't want you to be self-sufficient because that would mean no more income toward them. That's why they sell you a car right now. They don't sell you different models. They sell you one model. But if you want to upgrade and go faster, you need to pay them a subscription. They're done, man. Esau is done. Babylon the Great is done, man. You know? And then you have here. Damn it. You got here.
Cuba is ready to fall. And India also is falling. Mexico has to get their act together. We need Greenland.
So let me repeat it again.
Cuba is ready to fall. And India also is. Mexico has to get their act together. We need Greenland.
So what did he say? He said Cuba is ready to fall. We need Greenland. They also want Mexico. I'm gonna leave the links in the description box. They want Iran, Cuba, and Colombia, Mexico, Greenland. And he said this all in 5 minutes, from each other, that he wants these countries. And this is going to and also the thing about the Greenland, they said they started threatening, like, hey, if you attack Greenland, then we're gonna have to shut down the alliance that we have here. You know, we're gonna have to shut down the alliance because you're not honoring the treaty. Since when does America honor any treaty? Since when? They're gonna show you who they really are, and therefore the Most High is gonna put that spirit on the 10 horns in Europe to burn that hole with fire. You know. So right, let me go up in some few scriptures, right? Because like I was saying, we in a time right now where the time is being sped up, and Esau is the one that is actually, he's making moves. Well, Trump, I should say, he's making moves right now, and those moves are told to him by the elites of the society. Let me read a few articles, and then I'll go into the scriptures, right? Now it says here, colonialism was a system designed primarily for the extraction of resources, land, and wealth from the colonized regions of the benefit to the benefit of the metropolitan. Anyway, so what are they doing right now? They're trying to gather land. They got that colonial type of spirit once more. Like I said, I'm gonna put some few links in the articles because they said they're gonna be spreading democracy. They said they're gonna be spreading democracy, man. That's what they said. Crazy, funny as hell, man. If you understand what's going on, all you could do is just laugh at these devils, man. Because the snake tongue thing that they say is just crazy. We're here to fix. We're gonna fix Nicaragua. The guy said we're gonna fix Cuba. We're gonna fix Iran. They said fix. I'm not making it up. They said it themselves. Anyway, so because and the reason why they want all this land is because of money. Is of mineral resources. Is of gold, silver, and all these type of things. You know what I'm saying? And what will they get from it? Well, it says right here. And why are they doing it? Sorry, it says right here. Gold is the money of kings. Silver is the money of gentlemen. Barter is the money of peasants. Barter is something that you exchange with. I got fruit and vegetables and something like that, and you got clothing. So instead of dealing with money, then we deal with that. For example, you got like cattle and fish, and I got grains and rice and flour. So then I deal with that and to that and stuff like that. Those are actually real riches, like commodities. You can live off of that. You can't really live off of money, especially when the system falls. Or when you go to another country, then that's why you have to switch the money. But the money is nothing because it's not backed up by gold, anything. Money, well, the paper money that you have right now used to be a certificate, a measurement of the gold or silver that it was so-called worth for, yeah? But now you got monopoly money, and the people out here really think it's real money. That's why things are getting more expensive. That's why in the States they need 2 or 3 jobs. Because they was making a lot of jokes about Mexicanos living in one house, like 15 people or something like that. Now it's their turn. No, it's actually their turn. They live in 7 to 15 people in houses, all Edomites. In Miami, like the video that I just played in the beginning goes into. Miami and Florida. Yes, in Miami too. I know that's Florida, yeah. But still, Miami. And all these other places and stuff like that, Why? Because they can't afford anything. Now you would think from all the thieving that America does that the money would actually then therefore go to the people. They ain't getting nothing. All they get is a whip in the back of the neck and pay me. Because America is in debt. So if America is in debt, to who are they debtors? Who are they debtors? And to who are they in debt to? Let me read it again. Gold is the money of kings, silver is the money of gentlemen, barter is the money of peasants, but debt is the money of slaves. Now, who is America in debt to? If America is this super great power, who are they in debt to? How can you be in debt but be a superpower? You can front and stuff like that. They got the military, the rape, rob, murder, but they have to pay their debts. Think about that. They have to pay their debt to the elite bankers. That's who they had to pay their debt to. But anyway, let me get up in a few scriptures, right? Now it says right here. I read this before, but I'm gonna read it again. Oh yeah. And this one also, 1 Kings 12. But this time I just go to the point. I'll just read this. Now it says right here, right? 1 Kings 12. What is going on? 1 Kings 12, and so what Trump is doing right now is the Most High. The word of the Most High came to Trump and told him what to do. You know, because it says right here, 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 14 and 15. And spake to them after the counsel of the, I'll start at 13. And the king, this is talking about Rehoboam, when he didn't listen to the counsel of the old man that was with his father, King Solomon. But he listened to the young men that was all about, you know, we're going to fight these people, you know what I'm saying? They're going to bow down to us and stuff like that. I'm going to make it worse for them. And that's what Trump is threatening. He's threatening more sanctions to make it worse for them. He's threatening more. He said, like, if you don't allow me to take Greenland, I'm going to raise the tariffs even more. You know, he even at one point in time threatened to blow up NATO. Google that one, right? So, but it says, yeah, it's taken out of context. Now, I know what this guy means, man. I know what he means. He's the definition of basically what an Edomite is. Proud, think that he can not be stopped. In his mind, he's always successful. So anyway, 1 Kings 12 and 13. And the king answered the people roughly and forsook the old men's counsel that they gave him. So Rehoboam didn't listen to what his father said. Well, the men that were his father, the counsel of his father, King Solomon. He didn't listen to them. Verse 14. And spake to them after the counsel of the young men, saying, my father made your yoke heavy, and I will add to your yoke. So he was going to make it even worse. That's exactly what Trump said, man. That shows you that the Heavenly Father is in his mind, right? So it says right here, okay, and I will add to your yoke. My father also chastened you with whips, but I will chasten you with scorpions. That's exactly what Trump is going into, talking about, hey man, I'm gonna make it worse for you if you defy me. Verse 15. So it says, wherefore the king hearkened not unto the people, for the cause was from the Lord, that he might perform his saying, which Yahweh spake by Ahijah the Shilonite unto Jeroboam the son of Nebat, that he would rent the kingdom from Rehoboam. He said he would do it from, well, let me say it good. He wanted to do it unto Solomon, but he said, for your father David's sake, I'm not going to do it, take it from you. I'll take it from your son Rehoboam, the one after you. And that's exactly what he's doing here right now. And the Shilonite is a man from Shiloh, which is an Ephraimite. Well, it's a prophet from Ephraim. Shiloh. Right. So, going on. So it says right here, what was I saying? Sorry, I got distracted. Yeah. So Trump, he's actually doing what Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai put in his mind to do, because he is in the minds of the kings. He turned the heart of the kings as the river, whithersoever he will. So let me read it again in case you didn't see it, because I have the same thing too, you know. I might read a chapter or something like that, and then later on come back in the chapter and I'll be like, hey, wait a minute, I didn't notice that. So it's a normal thing. That's why I often like to repeat stuff for people if I'm reading toward them. I read it the first time, then I read it again, then I read it again, and then they get it. Sometimes 4 times, then they get it. You know, sometimes 5. Sometimes, you know, you need precepts and stuff like that to make them explain even more, which I do the same. It's just like a movie. The scriptures is just like a movie. When you see the movie for the first time, you're not going to notice that they wear Nike shoes or something like that. When you see it the second time, you already know what they're going to say. So now it's not bored, but your eyes are wandering away from their faces, because that's the first thing that you pay attention to when people are talking, you know, dialogue and stuff like that. You know the script, so you're going to pay attention to what they're saying. But if you already know what they're going to say, now your eyes start wandering to other places within the scene itself. So you might look in the back, oh shit, I didn't see that Nike logo. Well, same thing with the scriptures. You read it the first time, things might fly over your head. You might be great, but yeah. The scriptures is forever learning, man. 1 chapter today, and then in next year you read the same chapter and you get all these other type of informations through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Anyway, so basically if you read 1 Kings 12, Rehoboam made it worse. And that's exactly what Trump is doing. But why did he make it worse? Because this thing was of the Lord. He's the one that actually went up in their minds and made them stubborn. Well, he made me Rehoboam stubborn, because he's the one that's making decisions. Right? Anyway, so now going to the book of Revelation chapter 17, verse 12. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. And that beast is talking about an empire, kingdom, NATO. So it says right here, and you can read that in the book of Daniel chapter 7 verse 23, where it shows you that beasts are kingdoms. So verse 13, these have one mind and shall give her power, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. But that's in the end. You know, Lamb is talking about the Lord Yahushua. For he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And they that are with him are and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. Verse 15, and he said unto them, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are people and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. So the 10 horns are 10 kings, and that beast is talking about a kingdom, you know, an empire that they have. And you know what empires do, right? They create colonies. That's what an empire does. An empire goes out, rape, robs, murders other nations, and then they take their resources and stuff like that. That's what an empire does, right? And that's what America is trying to get back into, that spirit that they had from back in the days, that Conquistador spirit. So we already know, like, hey, these times are coming. Jacob's trouble is coming, because it's going to trickle down to the average ones of them, you know. It's starting with their elites, but it's going to trickle down to the average ones of them, the average Edomites. So 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. Eating her flesh is basically, it's going into basically devouring her, and burning her with nuclear fire. That's what England is. That's what Europe is going to do, not just England. Verse 17. So Revelation 17:17. And why will they burn the whore? For Yahweh had put in their hearts to fulfill His will. That's the reason. The only reason they're gonna set her on fire is because the Most High. Just like how the Most High set up against each other, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. He broke them up. So now what he's doing is he's breaking up the alliance of NATO. But this is piece by piece, because the scripture of Revelation chapter 13 needs to come to pass. Like Matthew 24 says, wars and rumors of wars. And it's also rumors of RFID chip, rumors of, all these type of things and stuff like that. Rumors of martial laws and all that there. So all these rumors are being floated about, rumors of them having coffins and stuff like that, and that goes back more than 10 years ago. They have millions of coffins that they actually pre-ordered, and they kept on pre-ordering. They kept on ordering, shall we? And they also have billions with a B, They have billions of bullets already waiting for that war. You know, read it again. Revelation 17:17. For Yahweh had put in their heart to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. So, until the, what's up, man? Until the Most High, his word shall be fulfilled. So once the word is fulfilled, then they will attack. Because for now, they're kind of joining, to a certain degree, they're joining. But Trump is, he continually spits in their mouth. And they have to swallow it down. There's going to come a time when you're going to spit in their mouth. As soon as they open their mouth, shut up. And they're going to spit it out. That's going to be disrespectful for him. He's going to be like, hey, man, what the fuck? Hey, I'm used to you swallowing that shit, man. Take that shit off the floor, swallow it, lick it. No, I'm not going to do that. What? What the you know? And then he going to go to fight against them. And then the other NATO members are going to be like, no, you know what? Fuck it, man. We're going to bomb you. And they're also talking about going into Iran. So that's a fun choice right there. So that's going into, that will eventually trickle down into China's money system and also Russia, because the Most High said that he will be a guard. That place where Russia is right now, well, Turkey and Russia and all these type of places and stuff like that, that place over there is actually governed by, well, eventually, it's governed by USSR, which is Russia, and they're going to go and defend them because that's in his backyard, you know what I'm saying? Because now they want to start messing with their money. But you can also say the same thing about Venezuela, because Venezuela, actually, China and Russia, basically BRICS, they had money in Venezuela, the oil money and stuff like that. But there's a sign, or I should say, there's a thing going on that there was a deal made. Let me see if I can actually get it. A deal made. There was a deal made here. It says here, Russia offers U.S. a secret deal to swap Venezuela, and this was in 2019. Wait, it's resurfaced in 2026, but I'm looking for the article of 2000. I don't know which. Look, if I'm at home, Lord willing, I'm gonna find it for you. Oh, I got it right here. It says right here. It says here, the article is, Russia offered U.S. a secret deal to swap Venezuela for Ukraine in 2019. Did you get that? They're all working together because they're allies to a certain degree, but they're also competitive with one another. Just like how you had Baasha versus the House of Jeroboam. They were both of the northern tribes. They were both fighting against the southern kingdom, Judah and Benjamin, but still, eventually, amongst themselves, they also had fights, and before you know it, Baasha the Issacharite, he became king, and he slaughtered the whole house of Jeroboam. Each and every single last individual one of them. He put them to death by the sword. You know? And that was a curse from the Heavenly Father anyway. He said that I will basically wipe out the house of Jeroboam. Every man that pisses against the wall, I'm gonna wipe him out. I'm gonna end his bloodline right there. So his individual house, I should say. Okay, so now we're going to go into Malachi chapter 3. I think I can get it here. The Bible itself. So Malachi 3. Mm-hmm. Fuck is going on? Always that healthy shit going on, man. Continually irritating. Anyway, so it says right here, Malachi chapter 3, verse 1, right? Now we in this time right now, and wait, let me just read it, right? Because it's going into it. So it says here, Malachi 3 and 1. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. And that messenger is talking about, the prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, which come to make a message for him, to bring a message for him, to make the Jacob descendants turn back to their forefathers. You know what I'm saying? The so-called Negros, Latinos, and Indianos, which are the Jacob descendants, they are the ones that are supposed to turn back to their forefathers' ways, which is the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And then will our ways be prosperous. Because our people don't know what it is like to actually command things. You know, tell people to walk the plank and they have to do it. You know, Esau could come over here and be like, yo, you can't be here. You need to move and remove yourself or something like that. You can't record here, whatever. They can do that, whatever. But they have their own laws set up. But do they follow their own laws to all of them? No, they don't. Anyway, so it says right here, behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. And Yahweh whom ye seek shall suddenly come to his temple, which, you know, we are the temple of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Back in the days, we had a physical temple on Mount Moriah, or Mount Zion, basically. And then he was there. He was dwelling between the two cherubims. But it also is shown to you in the Old Testament that the Most High dwelled within the Israelites. He was in the physical form right there. He was in the physical form, but he wasn't in the physical form. I hope you know what I just said. Because he's there, but he's not there. He's all over the place. First Kings chapter 8 explains to you that the Most High, and also in 2 Chronicles chapter 3, if I'm correct, it explains to you that the Most High is not there, but he dwelleth within darkness in the spiritual realm. So going on, so it says right here, Malachi chapter 3, verse the rest of 1, whom ye seek, and shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant. The messenger of the covenant are the prophets that come to bring the covenant toward the Jacob descendants, because that will make them turn back to their forefathers and the ways of our forefathers, right? So he's the one that brings the covenant to you. He's the messenger of the covenant, of the pact, the covenant that we make, because the word covenant is like a contract. Another word for covenant is contract, or an agreement, a pact that we made with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And in this case, it's the pact talking about Abraham with the circumcision in the physical form, and then you have the circumcision with the spiritual form, the mental one. But eventually, you're going to have the circumcision in the physical form. Also. You're going to have the circumcision in the physical form. Why? Because it explains to you that it's beneficial for those who keep the law, you know. And also, if you want to be participator of the Passover. So if you want to eat the holy meal, then you need to snip it. Just like how you have a pact with the Most High through blood, which is the circumcision, and then you have a pact with your woman through her blood, because if you deflower her, that's a blood pact right there. And we are the spiritual woman of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai symbolically. So therefore, it's a blood pact. You know? But a lot of you don't have a woman right now that you popped her cherry. Somebody else did that. Got in before you. You know, so yeah. That's why Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the Lord Yahweh Shai said that we are a generation of adulterers and adulteresses, whatever. Let me go on. So it says right here, Malachi chapter 3, verse the rest of 1. Even the messenger of the covenant, whom ye delight in. So you're supposed to delight in this covenant, man, and then eventually you're supposed to delight in Yahweh Ba'ashem, the Lord Yahweh Shai, right? Behold, he shall come, saith Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, which means he is the army. Yahweh is the army, and you can read it in Isaiah 45 and 12. He is the army. Verse 2. So Malachi 3 and 2. But who may abide in the day of his coming? And who shall stand when he appeareth? Yeah. Who's going to be able to abide in the day of the coming of the Lord? Because it says right here, let me get a few precepts right here. Precepts are okay. Da, da, da. Let me get a few precepts for that scripture right there. Let me read it again. So Malachi 3:2. But who may abide in the day of his coming? And who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a finer's fire, and like fuller's soap. Fuller's soap is of course to clean, and the fire is to purify. So it says here, Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 12. It says, and it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles, and punish the men that are settled on their lease. Lease is when you have alcohol, and on the bottom of the barrel, back in the days you had wooden barrels, on the bottom of the barrel you have the leaf sitting. And back in the days, that shows you that they're refining beer nowadays even more with a better filter. It's actually worse, but still it's a cleaner filter. Because back in the days when you drink beer, especially if I saw older people, older men, older jakes drink beer, then they would leave a little bit of the beer in the glass. And I saw that and I found it stupid. Until I grew up and I started drinking beer myself, then I was like, yo, that shit'll make you throw up. That thing at the bottom, you're gonna throw up. Because it's that potent green thing that they have from that beer, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, you throw that away, man. if you don't want to throw up. Or if you don't want to really get, you know, knocked on your butt. And stuff like that. But anyway, so it says here, and it shall come to pass, and it shall come to pass that at that time that I will search Jerusalem and with candles, and punish the men that are settled on their lease, the ones that are doing good in this society. You got to be a real demon to do good in this society. I'm not talking about doing normal. I'm talking about flourishing, you know, being really down with Esau society. So it says right here, that say in their heart, Yahweh will not do good, neither will he do evil. So they think nothing is going to happen. The Most High is not going to do good. The Most High is not going to do evil. Basically, I could do whatever I want to do and stuff like that, and nothing is going to happen. The Most High is going to chin check you for that. It's starting with Esau. Therefore, their good shall become a booty. But this chapter is talking about Jacob. But you can apply it to Esau nowadays too, and the rest of the heathen nations, because they're sitting on their lease also. You know. So 13. Therefore, their goods shall become a booty. Booty means spoil for another nation that is finna conquer you. And their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. That's especially going to happen in the book of Isaiah chapter 60, where it is explained that the sons of strangers are going to build up thy walls. So the Jacob descendants are actually really going to have servants, slaves, bed wenches, and whatever you can imagine. Everything that they did, the Most High is going to turn it back upon them and have it 1,000 times, no, 2,000 times more worse unto them than it was unto us. So Zephaniah 1:14, the great day of Yahweh is near, it is near, and hastened greatly, even the voice of the day of Yahweh. The mighty men shall cry there bitterly. So the mighty men of Babylon, even the mighty jakes that are in the midst of them, they're going to cry bitterly once the Heavenly Father sets everything on loose. You know what I'm saying? Verse 15, that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble, a day of distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. And you know who's in thick darkness? Let me get that real quick. 1 Kings 8. So then I'm going to read it again. 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 12. It says, Then spake Solomon, Yahweh said that he would dwell in thick darkness. So, back to Zephaniah. Zephaniah 1, no? Yeah. Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 15. It says, that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. So guess what? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is gonna basically, you gonna enter into his territory, which is darkness. But of course, he's the light. But unto us, darkness is not a good thing. To a human being, darkness is not a good thing because you can't see shit. You know, you don't know what type of dangers are in front of you, or behind you, or on your side. Maybe there's a hole in the ground. You might fall. You're gonna be blinded, man. You know, you're gonna fall in a ditch like a blind person trying to look for something. That's why the Lord said, I will search out Jerusalem with candles, man. Because that darkness is going to cover the whole world, but the Israelites are going to be found in that darkness, having a light of themselves first and foremost, not first and foremost, having a light of themselves, but first and foremost, the Most High is going to shine that light upon them, man, because He's going to be looking for Jerusalem in the midst of the darkness. He's going to be a light. Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 3. Seek ye Yahweh, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be that ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord. So, I know you can hear it right now. It's so-called, I don't even know what the fuck is going on. Once again, another protest. They continually protesting. They're probably not agreeing with something. Anyway, so it says right here. It says right here, Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 12. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles. Because we're going to be in that, well, Lord willing, we're going to be in that light. But the rest of the Jacob descendants, they're going to be in that darkness, man. You know? But I'll say this rather than the Israelites that have that light, which is this truth, they're surrounded by darkness, man. But they have the light, so they walk in the light, in the darkness. In the light, sorry. They walk in the light within the darkness itself. Right? And Zephaniah 1 and 12, the rest. And punish the men that are settled on their leash, and say in their heart, Yahweh will not do good, neither will he do evil. Because they think nothing is going to happen, because nothing has been happening to them on a large scale for a long time. And even if it did, they would not take it to heart, meaning, hey, this is a sign that we should be stopping what we're doing right now. They ain't taking that. As a matter of fact, they take it as a challenge upon themselves if something is not going right. If something is going wrong, they take that as a challenge, like, no, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna force it to be good. That's Esau for you right there. Eh? Okay. Sorry, I lost something. Oh yeah, I was doing it here. I forgot about that. I was looking for the scriptures, but I wasn't reading out of the telephone. I was reading out of the book, so I'm looking for it. I'm like, huh? I didn't have it nowhere. Oh yeah. It's a long ass line, man. Can't shut the fuck up. I hate screaming. Oh. Anyway, so it says right here. Malachi 3 and 2. But who may abide in the day of his coming, and who shall stand with when he appeareth? Only the elect is going to be able to stand when he appeareth, because even back in the days when the Most High appeared, earthquakes and all these things started to pop off, man. You know, thunder and all that started to pop off, and the Israelites got scared, man. They was like, you know what, Moses? I think we need to talk to you, man, because Most High ain't no joke. He ain't playing, and I don't want to die today. So we listen to you, right? So who shall be able to abide when he appeareth? Going on. And who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a refiner's fire and like a fuller's soap, which is basically to clean you up with. Just like Isaiah 32 and one of the last verses, it speaks about the Most High is going to wash away the filth with hail. You know hail hurts? Hail hurts, but it also makes clean. It makes desolate because it's water to a certain degree. It's hard water. It'll hurt you, but still, it will clean up stuff. It can destroy too. Well, same thing with the fire. It cleans, but it destroys also. So it's going to be refined with fire. Right? Malachi chapter 3 verse 3. And he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver, and he shall purify the sons of Levi, and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto Yahweh an offering in righteousness. The Levites are not going to offer anything anymore. This is because Yahushua took that over. He's now the high priest. So the Levites don't have, but this is symbolic for what it means. Because for what it stood for, and then it represents basically that we're going to be clean. Because like I said, if you read the book of Hebrews chapter 10 and 9 and 8, you will see that Yahushua, he took away the sacrifices of the Levites so they don't have to kill chickens and stuff like that. Well, it's not actually chicken, turtle doves and oxes and sheep and goat and stuff like that. They don't have to do that no more. Yahushua is that ultimate sacrifice, so he took away the blood sacrifice, but it still represents as what it represented back then. Basically, it means he's gonna make the Levites pure, and with them he made the rest of the nation pure. But now Yahushua is that high priest. Yeah. So Malachi 3 and 4. Then shall the offering of Judah and Jerusalem be pleasant unto Yahweh, as in the days of old, as in the former years. So that's exactly what I just said right there. Just like in the days of old, then the Levites would then purify the Judah and Ephraim, you know, the 12 tribes. But nowadays Yahushua does that. So he is now in the form or in the stead, in the place of the Levites, you know. Because if you look it up, I got a few scriptures and stuff like that, but it's not a big deal. A lot of times in the scriptures, especially in the Old Testament, you read the priests, and the Levites. the sons of Aaron were priests, and the sons of, which are also Levites, and the sons of Moses are also Levites, but it doesn't really say that they're priests. But you can look that up in the book of Numbers chapter 3. You had the priest is often mentioned. You had the priests and the Levites. It says it often. Because I started to think like, why are they called separately? Because some of them were just, Numbers chapter 3 explains to you what they're doing. Some of them were the jobs to touch the Ark of the Covenant, remove it from place to place, take the tent down, set up the tent, and all that there. And the other Levites, the sons of Aaron, were the priests. So all of them were Levites, but not all of them were priests. And then later on in the book of Judges 18, if I'm correct, and 19, the Danites, they went and took a Levite unto them and made him priest.